the EPS-SGP relationship across Canada here, based out of Southwestern Ontario with Grainger for almost a decade now. So certainly understand the MRO side of the business and how we can help support your operations. So again, thanks so much for having me, and I look forward to kind of working with your folks moving forward. So I'll share my screen. I won't be able to see if there are any hands as we kind of go through. So please just let's make this interactive. Feel free to stop me when if there are any questions, and we'll go from there.
Thank you.
So let me know when you can see my screen.
I can see your screen, yeah.
We're good to go. Okay. Again, thanks so much for everyone joining today. Really just going to be a high level introduction for Grainger Canada for the folks who don't know who's who in the Zoom when it comes to Grainger, some of our capabilities and really how we go to market and can help support each one of the individual locations here. Really brief agenda. We're going to go through roughly who is Grainger, distribution network, why Grainger, some of the solutions that we can help out with, our ordering e-commerce platform. That's one of a number of different channels to procure product through us. We do have some vendor managed inventory, what we call kind of keep stock opportunities, some services side of things, and then there'll be a lot of time left. I know we've got an hour booked for any questions after the presentation. So ultimately, who is Grainger? So we are the leading distributor of industrial supplies. We kind of refer to as MRO, or maintenance, repair, and operational supplies. Really focused specifically on 32 different categories across the board when it comes to everything from safety, cleaning equipment, tools, materials, fasteners, anything when you think about maintenance, repair, operational supplies, we can certainly help out there. Access to over 500,000 products just online in Grainger.ca. Access to another additional 1.5 million products through our sourcing channels. So folks who log into our website once we have accounts set up and don't see a product they might be looking for, reach out directly to myself, and we can certainly look at. We've got a full team dedicated to source product that might be outside of our general core offering. We also have opportunities to align dedicated local reps if need be, provide technical support, and any sort of specific resources that we can help with any of your business needs. In terms of the distribution capabilities, there's 4 distribution centers across the country, and most of the locations for EPS are on the West Coast. The largest one that we have for distribution center is out in Edmonton. So I'll kind of touch on that just a little bit more. We service over 145,000 customers. That's not just Canada, but it's also the US. And as noted, we have 500,000 products available in Canada stocked at all times. So just to kind of hone in just a little bit more on the distribution network, as you can see there, anything with the black dot will be with their distribution centers. And then we've got a number of local branches scattered across the country as well. One of our largest distribution centers is certainly in Edmonton. And within Edmonton alone, it's a 320,000 square foot facility. We inventory $60 million worth of product there and over 80,000 unique SKUs. So a robust number of opportunity and items that we can service out of that location. And then, like you say, a number of different branches that are across there. For all of our in-stocked items, when an order is, as long as the order is received by 5 p.m. on that day, we typically ship 98% of those items next day. So it doesn't matter where you are within the country, provided product is available and in stock, we can usually get those out in lightning speed and get those next day. Maybe I'll stop. Any specific questions out there on, any of our ability to, help with product in terms of our distribution centers and our ability to kind of service locations? Any questions there before I move on?
David, do you ship to Vancouver Island next day?
Well, we have a branch in Vancouver Island that if they have the product there, then we will be able to ship next day. If it is a product that would need to come out of my Edmonton, admittedly, that's one we wouldn't be able to. There's a really good question. If it's a product that would be used on a regular basis, there's room in that warehouse where we can stock specifically for your location. It's a great question.
Great, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so maybe I'll move on. So why Grainger? We can help out a number of different facets. Grainger is, we're very data rich, integrated fully into SAP. So we've got the ability to really hone in and look in the visibility into your spend once purchases start rolling in. We do that by, looking at different opportunities where we can save money on, whether it be product consolidation or looking at different kind of like opportunities that might be a little more economical. We can help reduce complexity within the purchases by helping to manage any or utilize some of your inventory. We'll touch on some of the vendor managed inventory opportunities if there might be applicable to some of your locations, but then also being able to kind of take a look at how inventory might be currently managed and provide some solutions. We've got a team who kind of are, our consultants, continuous improvement team that can help out and actually be on site and kind of see how things are being done and provide some suggestions on that. Importantly, of course, reduce costs and overall operational expenses. We can help kind of take a look at current processes, help suggest by streamlining processes and being able to really help from a consultative side of things that way. If there are any specific compliance regulations that you might have within one of your local facilities, we can certainly help maintain that compliance by either turning off specific vendors or specific products that wouldn't fit the regulations. We can help from an order management side of things to help with those compliant pieces. And then also, gain expertise without adding headcount. So we have got a number of different specialists. I talked a little bit about our consulting. We've got our vendor managed inventory team. We have our local account manager teams that we could align to your location. We work with 1,500 suppliers who have their own vendor reps, so we can use them and lean on them for product knowledge and product specialist work. And then on top of that, we also have field safety specialists across the country. We have 2 in the West Coast who could help with any sort of questions when it comes to regulations within safety or any kind of specialty safety product that might be looking for. So just to touch just a little bit more high level on the number of different products. So we've got 32 product categories, 500,000 products that are already within our distribution network now. That's just a touch of them that you see on there. Everything you see from your, fleet and vehicle maintenance to plumbing to power tools, electrical, welding, HVAC, hand tools. So a number of different categories that would kind of help with each one of your local facilities on there. I think the best approach certainly is if you're curious if that's something Grainger would be able to offer. Access to Grainger.ca will be given to each of you when accounts are set up, or also you reach out to myself or my customer care team on opportunities with that. Maybe I'll pause. Any questions on specific categories, our ability to kind of help go to market on that? Okay. Our primary ordering channel is within Grainger.ca. So it really is a time-saving solution. That's kind of highlights that right at the top there. Access to the 500,000 products that you see online. It's available 24/7, so you don't need to wait. If one of the branches is open or my customer care team is available, product can be purchased at any point and any time. The search engine there, it's world class, very much Amazon based. The ease and functionality of how to procure a product, right? When you would have your individual login where you can view pricing, product availability live at that point in time. You can compare products, different specs. You can create personal shared lists. If it's an item that you would be repeat purchases, we can set that up for you. And really just a streamlined checkout process. What's really neat is that recently we've been able to add not only invoices, packing slips, proof of deliveries within that. So you'll be able to see all not only pending orders, purchase histories, but then also you can gain any of the paperwork that you might need, whether it be for expenses or for any reporting that may be required. So certainly a robust ability to procure product. All the documents are in there and it's really easy to use. And at any point in time, any questions, I'm always happy to do a quick demo on that as well. Talked a little bit about inventory management. So there's a number of different facets within inventory management. I think the most Popular certainly would be what you see there would be like a coil dispensing machine. We have a number of different opportunities to look at that. We've got not only that vending machine there, we've got coils, lockers, something that doesn't need to be locked up. We can do keep stock replenish on there. So we actually, my team, so we've got dedicated on-site reps who would come in there, take a look at PK inventory, see if there's an opportunity to vendor manage that inventory and really take the ordering process, the stocking away from each of your folks on site there. So the ability to kind of save time, save labor, have that dedicated resource to kind of help with with how to procure product and keep it secure is also key. Again, the really nice thing about that is that the ability to kind of grab product at any time 24/7 is certainly in there too. I touched on real briefly just on some additional resources that we have outside of buying the product through Grainger.ca, and of course myself and my account managers. We do have our safety teams, some services opportunities when it comes to helping out with looking at specific things outside of just the procurement of a product, right? So we can help out with and do some assessments to identify any potential risks, specifically safety risks in some areas in there. We do audits and testing. To help look for, identify, and monitor any sort of the specific hazardous work areas. We've got our consulting team. If there's any specific unique projects that might be, one site local or could be multi-facet, where there might be some opportunities to help with a number of different sites. My safety team does program development. If there's some sort of specific custom, training or programs that might be of interest to your teams. A number of different training opportunities. So whether it be WMIS or, whatever you can really possibly think of when it comes from an EH&S standpoint, we can provide that, whether it be kind of online assessments or we do have dedicated, teams that we get third party for specific training. And then if there are any opportunities for any repairs and research of any of kind of the tooling that you may have, we do have our branch, our DC in Edmonton, who is a full repair shop as well. So certainly some opportunities with the manufacturer, with your trained technicians or the folks on site doing maintenance to kind of help out with some of the repairs and research of the tooling there as well. And then finally, we've got a number of different energy services. So we third party a number of different services when it comes to basically your entire building envelope. So everything from roofing, to windows to flooring, we can help out with that. So really we can help identify, energy saving when it comes to lighting and help with the retrofits in terms of that. Building envelopes, we talked about roofing, exterior walls, maintenance solutions to help for this ease of structural life and to really try to manage the roof assets that you might have there. And then finally, if there's any kind of flooring work, we can certainly help out with our third-party suppliers on that to help if there's any kind of long-term flooring solutions that may need, or provide any sort of manufactured products that they might need to help provide those services. So, like I said, a really brief overview of who is who Grainger. I know there's going to be some questions here, but really next steps. How do we kind of move forward and really start the partnership and set up accounts? Contact myself directly. We'll provide the information that we need to have the account set up, and then go from there. I know I do have a few EPS locations that have been set up and are currently working with us. So happy to reach out to myself directly, and we'll get everyone all set up there. And that's it. Okay.
Hey, David. David, thanks very much. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, yeah.
My name is Amir. I'm from Berwick Retirement Communities, primarily on Vancouver Island. So some of our communities today I think are buying it. Was it called Ackland's Grainger, and it's now just Grainger, correct?
Correct, yeah. So when Grainger purchased Ackland's, I think about 12 years ago, They kept the Atkins name and then hyphenated Grainger, and then within the last year and a half, Amir, they dropped the Atkins piece. So we're just kind of Grainger Canada for a parent company in the US with Grainger.
Great. So some of our sites already have Grainger accounts, I believe, and are just doing their purchases. Do we need to ensure that those accounts have been properly aligned and coded to the SGP EPS program? Number one, because they could have been legacy starts, and we just need to make sure that they're coded right so that they're being captured for their volume properly. That would be number one. And number two is, sorry if I missed anything, but is the EPS program with Grainger any different than the program that is set up through SGP, your partnership with SGP? Is it any different?
No, it's not different whatsoever. It's the same streamlined process. That's a great question. And then for your first question, yes, we should definitely verify. I know we've got there are a few EPS accounts that we have linked to the SGP program, but I'd like to verify, Amir, that we've got yours.
Okay.
That location. So just, I know I'll be sending out, some information, and I know Regina will be sending that out. So just send back to me on my contact information, then we'll verify. Okay,
that'd be great. And maybe what we've got Ian, Chris, and Regina on the line. Perhaps VA can ask you to validate the Grainger accounts that are with Berwick and just see if they're properly reflected in the Grainger system, please.
Yes, Amir, we'll do that together with the rest of the other members to make sure we're not missing anything here. Thank you for that question, Amir. Thank you, David.
Yeah, great question. Appreciate that.
Thanks.
Any other questions, guys?
Oh, I just thought of, have you done the latest analysis on pricing compared to the other providers in the field?
Have we done?
Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah, go ahead.
No, I was going to say we're very market competitive. There's no question about it. The way that the agreement specifically is structured, it's a category discount base. So you'd see those categories. There's a percentage that are off. From our web-based pricing. If there are regular consumables that are purchased on a day-to-day basis, we could certainly look at those. But in terms of a market competitiveness, yeah, I'm definitely comfortable that we're where we need to be. Right. But individual items will vary, so certainly send them off to me and we can look at it. Right. It's hard. We have 1.5 million items, right? So we're not going to be able to ensure 100% accuracy on that, but I feel comfortable for the most part. Right. There's always going to be one-offs.
So how does the discount work then? Is it like, GFS, there's on contract and off contract pricing, or how does that work?
So when it comes to food service providers, it's a bit different, right? So when it comes to MRO, so we have got our regular market price that you would see if you weren't logged into an individual account on Grainger.ca, right? So that would be kind of baseline purchase if you didn't have agreement in place. Signed in, then there would be specific discounts by category. So for instance, safety is a 15% discount off of list, like for instance, right? So we have agreed with the SGP and within that group. So then you'd see a discount on that. And then there are deeper discounts on frequently moved product that have been negotiated as well. So there's more of a 3-tiered approach. And that's to my point where if there's an item that you see on there, you're going to be used on a regular day basis, we can certainly look at that based on volumes, right? Gotcha.
So if we've got an account set up and it's however identified as being affiliated with EPS or SGP, then automatically we get that the pricing we're seeing has been discounted.
100%. Yeah.
Understood. Okay. Thank you.
Great question. Any other questions? All right, I think we're good. Appreciate your time, Regina. I'll send that information out to yourself with the deck, and then the account setup piece. Chris will make sure we verify some of the accounts that are currently, active with Grainger and make sure that those are aligned properly and go from there. Keep the communication open. I'm your dedicated resource from a national perspective. And, if you feel that there's an opportunity from one of your local sites or even a group of companies within Berwick, if there's an opportunity for some of my local teams to be on site and help with any solutions, we can certainly align them as well.
Great.
Awesome.
Thank you
Great.
very
Awesome.
much,
Thank you, David.
David.
Okay,
Thank
thank you
you.
so much. Appreciate your time.